All right, so now we're gonna get started on a diesel heater install. So I guess in untypical fashion, we have a seat base here, but no passenger seat. She's actually got a, I think a fridge freezer mounted there, but it still has the seat base, and so that's where we're going to be installing the diesel heater. Here's the kit. Comes with pretty much all the accessories and things that you need. Got the ducting, the heater itself, wire harness, flexible exhaust pipe, muffler, fuel pump, fuel line, and an extra tank on board with the 26-gallon fuel tank. So we'll be teeing off of that, and that'll stay in the box.
All right, so first things first, this. Yeet. And this is going to get rerouted a little bit. I can get it unstuck. There we go. I'm going to chip this out of here and put the heater right there. And usually this is hard to come out. Usually it comes out in big wafers.
Uh-huh.
Not sure how much of this really needs to come out. I know some of it does. So your diesel heater will come with one of these. I have one that I have custom cut. As you see, this goes in here. Whoops, how's this go in there? Yep, like this. I've cut one down, about 3/8 to half to 3/8 of an inch off the side of it. And the reason for that, you'll poke in through here so we can get closer to this wall.
Ah.
So I'm gonna hold that on the bottom of the heater and position the heater not all the way up here where it's touching, because when it goes down, it's gonna, where that wall is sloped. So we need to be back a little bit from that wall, kind of like right here, and then almost as tight as we can against that side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I drop this plate, square it up with this.
Yep, right along that seam there.
And then we're going to take this out, holding the plate in place. All right, and then that tells me what I need to chisel out still.
Yep. Score a line and go up to that point.
Across there, and hold that thought. So you see how this would go in there, and well, look at that, it would have fit in this one. It seems to me in the past that the heater got tighter up against the wall here, where this got in the way. Yeah, so maybe with your new heater, you can just put this in, draw your line, and go for it. Notice the edge right there. And this stuff is sound deadening pad.
Ah.
That's what it's on there for. It takes the vibration out.
We are removing the heat shield bolts.
Uh-huh. Now the heat shield doesn't really have to come out. Just has to move out of the way enough to see what I'm doing. Maybe that's enough, so that you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. Now we can see what we're doing. So we've punched down into this bracket here. Not ideal, but not a big deal. Cut that the rest of the way out. Yep. Normally I would have been about a 1/2 inch forward of that. I wonder, is this heater a little bit bigger than the ones I've had in the past?
All right, so Like he was saying, normally it would sit a little bit further away and not have to go through that little bracket there. But this one seems slightly misaligned. Maybe the heater dimensions are different. Shop back out. Clean up all the little metal shavings from drilling.
Don't want any rust. Gonna lay this on here so we don't get any paint in the van, and go underneath and spray there first.
Ah.
And we're not going for a pretty finish here.
Just trying to cover up the raw material.
Runs and drips and airs are okay, as long as we get full coverage.
Especially underneath the vehicle where nobody's gonna see. All right, there's what you're looking for, paint-wise.
Now we give that 15 minutes to let the paint dry before we set anything on it. I wanted to make a special point of saying how important this gasket is and how that is going to seal. So all the red stuff is inside the van and everything this side of the black stuff is outside of the van, and none of the exhaust can leak back into the van here. That's got to be a good seal. Yep. I've seen people put this on a shelf inside the van and then there's 6 inches of exhaust pipe going down to exit. No, don't do that. This is not a tight seal here. It's not airproof. We want this first union to be outside the van.
Yep.
So here we go.
Was it hiding in the box?
So that's going to set just like that. Then we want our heat to come out here, so we need to cut another hole before we get carried away. Holy shit. There we go. Would you try pushing down on the front side of the heater for me? This little inlet filter in this little pocket right here. So you can't get too terribly splashed up in there.
And back in place. Next, we got to give the fuel line in place. And you gotta feed it up through, slip it over the port coming out.
Okay, that's as tight as that gets. Way up there.
Here it is with the heat shield reinstalled. Exhaust pipe coming out over on this side. Fuel line coming out over there too. And then running over to here. Headed bracket over there. Bending the exhaust and the muffler. Follow along towards that bracket.
Nice tight bolt in there. Blow right out under the edge of the van.
Yep, that'll work good. There you go. Perfect. Alright, so we're getting this wire fed up through the plastic here. Just kind of use it. Just drilled out hole there. Run the connector through. Pulling the wire harness through. So we got it mounted here with the wires ran through the plastic here.
That's what I did for so long that I feel like the luckiest person in the world. Well, you know how it's nice to get accolades from people.
It is, yeah.
You know, it really, and that was one thing I missed a lot after not working anymore.
So we've got the red and the black wires for power hooked up, taped down, stay in place. And we've got the controller online. Just need to get the fuel pump connector put on and hook up the fuel line. So we've got the wires for the fuel pump and the fuel line itself come in this direction. We're going to be tapping off of the S-bar fuel pump line that doesn't really get used and is already conveniently available. Just got to remove some hose clamps. Shoot, I should put a hose clamp on there first. Cutting the fuel line to length.
And I need a little rubber grommet or a rubber chunk of rubber hose to push onto the fuel pump.
Here. So we're trying to get that tightened down and holding the correct angle. You want the fuel pump to lean slightly up.
Different from the heater in my van. And this is a priming feature here. So we press and hold that button while the pump just runs and runs and runs and fills our new fuel line with fuel. And I had Kate hold that for me while I was under the van watching. When the fuel got all the way to the pump, we let go. A couple seconds later, it stopped pumping. So now if we turn it on, what does that say? 13 volts, 31 degrees.
Power button, if you press and hold, does that turn it on? Oh, that did something.
Oh yeah, that turned it on. Okay, we're on H5. Now I can turn it down, H4, H5.
Okay, yep.
So this one is not thermostatically set, at least not in this mode. We can probably change that, but we're not going to change that because we're going to use a Burek thermostat remote.
Yep.
Which is over here. This is not the rechargeable one, so she won't lose it. It will always be tied to the USB port, and she can move it wherever she wants to place it in the van.
Yep.
But we can turn the heat on and off with that.
Nice.
And it displays in American temperatures, Fahrenheit instead of Celsius, which we can probably change in there too.
Yep.
But that display that comes with these things is so inconvenient. This is nice.
Wow, yeah. I haven't seen one of those before.
I haven't paired it yet, but we'll pair it up so it works for her. And it'll work. It'll actually turn the heater off, not just idle it down.
So yeah, you can see you got kind of 6 different speed settings. You'll see the little bars here and the H1 through 6, depending on what you set it to. That's kind of the overall setting for how fast the heater, which is now in the process of booting up. Hear the fan running. Looks like We've got the pump icon there, so we should be pumping fuel.
Where'd it go? The exhaust is blowing out. There it is. Oh yeah, the exhaust
Yep.
is blowing hot.
Looks like we already have combustion. There you go. See the exhaust coming out, and that is toasty.
One of the key points when buying a Chinese diesel heater, get one with a simple remote like this, 4 buttons, no display on it. That way it will work with the Burek remote control.
Okay.
For right now, we're just going to turn it off with this remote.
Yep.
Come back later and pair this remote to that remote, so that one takes control, thermostat and everything.
Nice.
So this is the bottom of the heater. A couple of key things to note. The fuel inlet is next to the air inlet, so the other one is exhaust. That's inlets are together, that kind of makes sense. This electric, so the electric is different from this. It's not inlet and inlet. This, both sides go out to the heater. So this goes to here, and this goes to the wire harness here.
Yep. And there will be a little arrow. You have to remove the rubber
Yep.
in order to see, but that'll show you, let me get that to focus. Right there, that'll show you the direction of the fuel flow.
Hook that up backwards, it won't pump.
Yep, you'll be pumping air into your tank instead of pumping fuel into your heater.
Most important though, make sure even this first connection is outside the van. We don't want any exhaust leaks inside the van, so anything below this red line, now it can be on a wall,
Yep.
but cabin, not cabin. Everything here is outside, including that first connection.